Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 700 Club. President-elect Donald Trump came to Washington yesterday for the first time since his election victory, and he met with President Biden and GOP congressional leaders, and they learned the House will remain in Republican control.
Mr. Trump also announced more key picks to fill out his cabinet, signaling how he plans to govern. Lori Johnson has the details.
President Trump triumphantly returned to Washington, D.C. to meet with congressional Republicans and attend a face-to-face with President Biden at the White House.
Donald, congratulations. And looking forward to having like we said, a smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need.
The meeting appeared civil, even friendly.
Thank you very much. And politics is tough, and it's many cases not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today, and I appreciate it very much. And a transition that's so smooth, it'll be as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate that, Jim.
After this photo op, the two met behind closed doors for nearly 2 hours.
It was a substantive meeting, an exchange of views. They discussed important national security and domestic policy issues facing the nation and the world.
This is the comeback king. He is the king.
The GOP now winning control of the House, reaching the magic number of 218 seats. House Republicans voted to return Speaker Mike Johnson to his position, a move endorsed by the president-elect, who received a standing ovation from the lawmakers.
Just a very nice gathering. Isn't it nice to win? It's nice to win. It's always nice to win.
In the upper chamber, Senate Republicans selected South Dakota's John Thune for Majority Leader.
This Republican team is united. We are on one team. We are excited to reclaim the majority and to get to work with our colleagues in the House to enact President Trump's agenda.
The president-elect rolled out more cabinet picks, choosing Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. Gaetz has been under investigation by the House Ethics Committee over allegations of sexual misconduct and illicit drug use, which he has denied. After his nomination, Gaetz resigned from the House.
If Matt has resigned and is no longer a member of Congress, the ethics investigation will cease and no report will be issued.
We have too many people in our government who don't care about the people.
Former Democratic Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard was tapped as Director of National Intelligence, while Florida Senator Marco Rubio officially nominated as Secretary of State. The president-elect hopes the Senate will fast-track his nominees by the time he takes office January 20th. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
Well, elections are one thing, but this is when politics gets very fun and interesting. And CBN News Chief Political Analyst David Brody is with us. David, how would you have liked to have been in that room with former President Trump and President Biden? Looked civil and reasonable, though, did it not?
It did. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that meeting. And you know, good. It's good for the country, obviously. Look, they've had their differences, and that's to put it mildly. But now we move forward. And this, Andrew, let's be clear what's going on here with all of these cabinet picks and everything we've seen. This is Maga Unleashed. I mean, if you think about it, right, you've got Tulsi Gabbard coming in as the head of the Director of National Intelligence, Tom Homan on border security, Elon Musk coming in, and, of course, Matt Gaetz, a controversial pick, to say the least. Oh, I'm sorry, did I mention controversial picks? Pete Hegseth from Fox News, 6 years a Fox News anchor, and now could head up the Department of Defense. Now, to be clear, Princeton, Harvard, Army veteran for 20 years, 2 Bronze Stars. The guy's got a resume, but this is unconventional. It's MAGA Unleashed.
Well, since we're on the topic, Hegseth, Gaetz, do they stand a chance? I mean, especially Gaetz, it seems pretty doubtful, does it not? What do you think of these two?
Well, look, here's the bottom line. Let me just get to the bottom line. Gaetz will be confirmed. Now, let me explain why. First of all, if there's obviously any controversy that comes out between now, from the time I just said that, until the confirmation, all bets are off. That's my disclaimer. But having said that, from a numbers standpoint, he's going to have a problem in the Senate. However, then we could talk about a recess appointment. In other words, President Trump can just go ahead, in essence, and put Gaetz in as Attorney General without the Senate's confirmation at all. It would only last 2 years, up until 2026, and then they'd have to do it again for the next 2 years. But that's how it works. You know, the founders of this country, Andrew, originally said it was fine to do recess appointments. As a matter of fact, there was no debate back at the Constitutional Convention about this. It was because the Congress only met for 9 out of 24 months back in the day. And so there had to be some continuance of government when Congress wasn't meeting. So that's why the recess appointments came up. Nowadays, though, it's become very controversial. I think Matt Gaetz will get through. I think either way, this is how it's going to happen, Matt. He's going to look, there's not to get into all of the numbers in the Senate. There's 53 senators. He's going to lose Murkowski and Collins. That's down to 51. So if he loses 2 more, he'll lose. And I don't think actually that's going to happen. I think these senators who would not want to normally vote for Gaetz will do so because Trump's coming in with a mandate and all of that, and he's got the momentum. I don't think they're going to cross Trump early on. That's why I think he'll get confirmed. Having said that, if it goes south, Trump can always do recess appointments. So either way, Gaetz gets confirmed.
David, I know we got a lot to talk about, but what about Hegseth? I mean, do you think he's going to pass through?
Yeah, no, I think he will. I mean, I think this is all about the mandate. Look, in 2016, Andrew, Donald Trump had 62.9 million votes regarding the popular vote. This time around, it's 75 million plus. 13 more million votes across the country within 8 years. And that was after January 6th. That was after 34 felony convictions. That was after 2 impeachments, 2 assassination attempts. And yet he had 13 million more people vote for him. It's astonishing. It's the biggest comeback in political history, bar none. And that translates to a mandate. And look, elections have consequences. And we hear that all the time. And here are the consequences, sadly for the left, because they see a Maga Unleashed situation here and they're not happy about it.
Senator John Thune, South Dakota, new Senate leader. Strengths, weaknesses, what do you think?
Well, look, I've known John Thune for a very long time. I mean, he's a straight-up conservative, Reagan Republican. There's no doubt about it. He's not Mitch McConnell, however, he is more establishment. There's no doubt about it. He's looking to cut a deal. Look, with a Senate Majority Leader, when you're in that position, Andrew, it's all about the numbers. You know, do you have the numbers to make things happen? And you got to cut deals. And so that's a little bit why he gets somewhat of the rhino label. He's not a rhino. The truth of the matter is John Thune 20 years ago would have been considered a rock-ribbed conservative. Nowadays, in Trump's populist America, in Trump's populist party, he's a little bit rhino light, if you will. But the truth of the matter is he is solidly conservative. And he's going to push Trump's agenda if he's smart, because he knows the mandate is with Trump and he got it from the American people.
Well, we have seen a lot of interesting cabinet nominations. David, any chance we're going to see you nominated as press secretary? Any rumors?
So, hold on. I like to take that off the table now, and I like to say absolutely not. But that's a wild question. I never thought about that. Okay, maybe I did for a second, but no, the answer will be absolutely not, because I have limited follicles, and at this stage in my career, I don't need any less hair. I would have to go for the hair transplant. Yes.
All right, this is great. I'm so glad I brought it up. I appreciate that. David, thank you for joining us.
Sorry, Andrew, my bad.
I know, you probably can't see me. Thanks, David, for joining us. All right, well, in their Oval Office meeting, President Biden and President-elect Trump agreed to work together to free the hostages in Gaza. Meanwhile, a new report shows Hamas is torturing the citizens of Gaza. Now, viewer discretion is advised, as some of this video is disturbing. Here's Chris Mitchell from Jerusalem.
National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, paraphrasing President Biden, said he's ready to do everything in our collective American power to secure the release of the hostages. Yet not all the hostages in Gaza are held by Hamas. Palestinian Islamic Jihad released a propaganda video of their hostage, Sasha Trufano. Trufano's mother viewed the video with mixed emotions.
On the one hand, I am very happy to see him alive and see him talking. And on the other hand, I see that he is not in a good mental or physical state.
Inside Gaza, Israeli forces released hundreds of hours of closed-circuit television footage. The IDF said the materials expose how Hamas brutally tortured Palestinian civilians suspected of opposing its rule. Some were hung upside down, others tied up in agonizing positions, or tortured while their captors sat inches away, talking to themselves or completing paperwork. Israeli media details the anger many Gazans feel towards Hamas. An Israeli Channel 12 reporter got exclusive access into Gaza and heard this unfiltered view from a number of its citizens.
رفعتي صوتك ضد حماس شو بده يكون؟
بيقتلونا إرهابية حماس إرهابية قولوا يلا معي حماس إرهابية حماس إرهابية الله ينتقم منك يا سنوار الله يشحنك يا رب أبرك.
The video showed IDF soldiers providing water and medical aid.
اجتمع بدهم يساعدوكي اوكي؟ اوكي؟
تخافيش يا كار تخافيش الله يقطع حماس واليوم اللي شفناهم فيه ذبحوهم ذبحوا حماس وقتلوهم وين ما رحتوا شفتوهم ذبحوهم ينعوا ابوهم ما بدناش اياهم يحلوا عنا.
A number of men on crutches explains how they were wounded.
كل هدول المشلولين اللي بشوف كلهم من حماس؟ لا افهم شيء. إسرائيل يعني بتسمح لهدول الشاحنات يفوتوا على الشمر
غزة بسرقوها حماس بيسرقوها اظن نميت من الجوع احسن
امام عيونكم سرقوها
اظن نميت قدام عيني تكلمت اذا تكلمت بطخوك وين بخطك الشاهان وين بطخ الشاهان على اللحم بطخ عشان يشلك.
Many said they favored Israel.
حماس على الوجود احنا معكم
انتوا معنا يعني انتوا مع اسرائيل؟
مع اسرائيل خيرنا منكم احنا جوز ما يشتغل عندكم انتوا الخير عندكم انتوا البركه ها
The report also noted hundreds of Hamas terrorists have been surrendering, a sign of how much the IDF has weakened the terror group. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Most of your major news and broadcast cable outlets are not going to show you Hamas treating Gazan citizens that way. When you have people saying, I'm watching them steal our food, and people speak up and they're being maimed for life as opposed to they're saying, just kill me. This is incredible stuff, and the truth is now coming out. And even though Hamas has been decimated, it's as brutal as ever.